And in Your America Tonight. Now, earlier today, Homeland Security Secretary Janet Napolitano did her best to backtrack on her department's report that said that military veterans may be vulnerable recruits for radical extremist groups. And if she thinks vets and other Americans who simply disagree with the Obama administration are right-wing extremists, well, her department must have been pretty busy yesterday. Joining me now is Colonel Oliver North, who is the host of War Stories. And this Saturday night, by the way, 9 p.m., he takes us inside Special Ops, the special look at the most elite members of our armed forces. Colonel, good to see you. Thanks for being with us.
Sean, you must have had a great time down there in Atlanta. You're still hoarse, but I will tell you this. You and that crowd apparently have alarmed the Department of Homeland Security because this report, which you and none of your viewers were ever supposed to see, says they're concerned about people who apparently believe that they're Christians. They want to support the sanctity of life. They oppose abortion, want to preserve marriage as a union between a man and a woman, that are veterans with, as I quote, skills and knowledge derived from military training and combat. Well, I'm one of those. I also own firearms, another one of this scatological category in here. I buy ammo. I refuse efforts to infringe on our Second Amendment. All this is apparently wrong by the Department of Homeland Security standards.
Colonel, why do I think if we start checking off the list on immigration, I'm on the list, on the Second Amendment, on being pro-life, on supporting the 20-plus thousand people that showed up in Atlanta last night, I'm on the list.
You are, according to this, an extremist, and you need to be very carefully watched. Here's what's really alarming about this. Number one, it's proof that they are listening. At the bottom of the page on the front cover, it says no one in the public is supposed to see this. It's all for, quote, law enforcement authorities. And it warns about right-wing extremist chatter on the internet that, quote, focuses on the economy, the perceived loss of U.S. jobs in manufacturing and construction. That's an alarming admission. Alarming, very alarming, because it's an acknowledgement that they're monitoring political speech.
Well, which is a good point, which means that probably talk radio and probably the Fox News channel. And, you know, I even said somewhat, tongue-in-cheek last night that, probably they got the license plate of every single person of the 20,000 people that showed up at the Tea Rally last night, or the hundreds of them that went on around the country. So if we slap a bumper sticker on our car that's pro-life, that's pro-Second Amendment, that's pro-military, Semper Fi, in God we trust, whatever it is, as we look at, some of the video from Atlanta, which went on for blocks and blocks and blocks, that means.
Those are all.
But if I sat in Jeremiah Wright's church for 20 years, God, America, and America's chickens have come home to roost. If I hang out with Bill Ayers, am I on the list?
Well, here's what's really disturbing about it. One is the intrusion into political thought in America that vilifies those of us who subscribe to any of those, or guys like you and me that subscribe to all of them.
Yeah.
Second of all, it's a twisted idea. They're saying that right-wing extremism is the #1 threat to American safety and security. That means that if you're a Hamas organizer or a Hezbollah recruiter or a Somali terrorist trying to recruit suicide terrorists, you're lower on the totem pole in terms of scrutiny than a regular American citizen concerned about these things, to include, outrageously enough, American veterans who they think are a target for being radicalized.
Good point, but we could even take it a step further here. These overseas contingency operations, they're using harsher language. Barack Obama said, we'll send Mr. Burgess to tear up Sean Hannity. They're using harsher language towards conservative talk hosts and people that are pro-life and want to obey immigration laws and that are pro-Second Amendment than they are against Kim Jong-il and Ahmadinejad and Al-Qaeda and some of our enemy combatants and terrorists.
We had to run this all the way through the lawyers, Sean. To get this document, we put it up on the Freedom Alliance webpage, www.freedomalliance.org, so all Americans could see it. Despite the warning at the bottom of it, we believe the American people do have a right to know.
Well,
and they
I agree.
need to know what our government's up to.
Well, I'm glad you did. Now, we saw, by the way, and I only have a short time left, we saw these incredible Navy SEALs, 3 shots, 3 dead pirates at incredible distances on the high seas, factoring high wind conditions, an amazing feat. You have a special coming up this weekend, going inside Special Ops on these guys.
It's one of the most exciting documentaries we've made in 8 years of war stories. The SEAL rescue of Captain Rich Phillips, the skipper of the Maersk, Alabama, kind of is the capstone for all of this, Sean. This is just the training that these guys go through. Watch this.
Okay.
They've been called masters of chaos, Green Berets, frogmen, swift and silent killers. They're the elite warriors of U.S. Special Operations Command, or SOCOM.
The qualities in a good special operator: you have to be physically fit. You have to be highly intelligent. At times you have to be very humble, dealing with other nationalities and other indigenous personnel.
All right, Colonel, we'll be watching Saturday night, 9 o'clock. These are the best of the best.
You got it, brother. Thank you.
Safe home, and appreciate you being with us.
Appreciate you.
All right.